Hi, welcome back to my channel, So Retired. I am Dawn Opal, and each week I will be talking about a new pattern that I've either completed or a pattern project that I'm about to work on. This week I'm going to be working on McCall's pattern 7757. I put a picture of it up in one of these corners here so you could get a closer look of it. It's going to be a little crop top with a pair of pants, matching pants to go with it. I love the picture. It just reminded me so much of spring and summer, and I will be going on vacation in a few weeks, so I thought this would be the perfect outfit to make. So, saying all that, I have never worn a crop top, don't want to wear a crop top, and probably will never wear a crop top. So I will be hacking McCall's pattern 7757 to make the crop come down a little bit down to my waist at least. I'm still going to use the basic style of the pattern where I would have elastic around the neck and elastic around my waist, but it won't be a crop, but it will be longer. So to be able to accomplish that, the first thing you need to do, and I'm going to step back a bit, have your tape measure with you. So you can take your measurements. So I already know what size I'm going to make. The pattern comes as extra small all the way up to extra large. So I already know what size I'm going to make, like I said, on the pattern. But what I need to do now is measure from here, which is where the crop top will end, to my waist. So if I want it to be just at my waistline, I have a pair of pants on here that I know sits just right at my waist or my lower waist where I want it to be. So I'll just measure from here to here, which is going to be 7 inches. Let me turn the tape around. And then what I would do is add 7 inches to the pattern to bring up to the length, okay? So now I'm going to change the camera position, and I'm going to show you my layout and how I'm going to cut out the fabric for the top. So now we're going to take a look at the layout for the pattern. So as I said before, I'm doing top B, and depending upon the length of your fabric, whether it's 45 or 60 here, this is how you would lay out your pieces. Right, so for top B, we need piece 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And this is something that beginner sewers sometimes don't understand, is how to lay out their fabric. How to lay out their pattern pieces on their fabric. And in McCall's and all the big fives, they give you a layout, so it makes it easier for you. So pattern 1 and 2, pattern pieces 1 and 2, which is going to be your back and your front, you're going to have those on your fold, on the fold edge here. And then this part that says salvage are your 2, would be the opposite ends. So in my case here, this is the back that I'm starting with first. Whether it's 1 or 2, I just happen to pick the back piece, so I'm going to start with that first. So I put my pattern on top of my fabric. I'm using some light weights here to hold everything down in place. I'm not going to use pins because this fabric is very soft. Let me show you a piece of it right here. You know, it's very soft, so I didn't want to put too many holes in it by pinning it and stuff like that, right? And I got this fabric from my stash. Cannot tell you how old this fabric is because I don't remember buying it. If you like me, you love to buy fabrics when you see you have no idea what you're going to make out of it. You just hold on to it until one day it clicks, and it has clicked. So remember a little while ago we did those extra measurements where I measured from my front right under the the crop line of the top, getting tongue-tied here, to where I want it to be. So for our hack, once you got everything lined up, we're going to add, for my body measurements, it was 7 inches. I wanted it to come all the way down to my waist, 7 inches. So once again, you're going to add 5/8 of an inch with that too for your hem, right? Depending, well, if you want to do, excuse me, 1/2 inch or 1 inch for your hem, whichever. But I like to always err on the side of caution because it's easy to cut something smaller. You can't take something smaller and make it bigger. So while my measurements did say 7, I'm going to give it an extra inch and I'm going to cut it here at 8, right? So how are we going to do that? So first things first, we need to make sure that we are lining up on the edge of our fabric here. I'm going to measure down to 8. And as we can see, it's a straight line. There's nothing tricky to it. So I would come all the way down here to the 8 and come all the way back. All right, so give me a sec, I'm getting scissors. Got those. And we're going to cut this side piece here. So as I am cutting it, it just crossed my mind, I have to do a casing for the elastic to go into. So I'm going to extend that 7 and I'm going to cut it all the way down to 10 inches. So that should cover the hem as well as the elastic casing that I want to add into the bottom of it. And if it happens to be too long, we can always cut off a piece. Just make sure your line is straight. You can use a ruler and a piece of chalk to make it more accurate. So we come all the way down to 10 right here. And then I'm going to cut straight across. Once again, if you want to make sure your line is absolutely straight, you can chalk your line here. Okay, and then now you're going to cut out the pattern based upon your measurements, your size up here. So I am cutting the medium. The finished on the back of your pattern is going to tell you what your finished sizes are going to be. So a medium, it's saying here is a size 12 to 14, right? We also have European sizes at the bottom here. And the finished garment measurements is what we're going to look at here. So for the finished garment measurements, it's talking about the hip for line for E, but it's going to show me also that on a size 12 to 14, that will let you have an idea of what your bust finished product is going to be, right? So I normally wear mediums and tops, and then I wear larges in my bottoms. So that's what I'm going to cut out. So we're just doing the top for right now. So we're going to do that. So now I've set up piece number 1. Now, if you look here on the layout, that is, once again, we're doing top B, and we're going to cut out piece number 1, which is the front of the blouse. This shaded part means that you need to flip the pattern over, which is what I did. So it's upside, wrong side, I should say, right? So then you line up again, your fold, because remember this is your fold line right here. Line everything up, put your weights down where you need to make sure everything stays nice and flat. And then again, we're going to add 10 inches like we did with the back to the front. Come down here to 10 inches, and that 10 inches is going to be for the 7 that I measured down. And like I said, we like to err on the side of caution So we could add an extra inch. Plus we need to have enough for the casing, for the elastic at the bottom, as well as for any other adjustments that we need. So I'm going to do 10 inches. If it happens to be longer, then I can always cut it shorter, but we can't make short into long, right? So then you do the same thing again, cut out that front piece, and then from there, you go and cut out the other pieces that they're asking you for, which would be pieces 3, 4, 5, and 6. So once you cut out all those, meet me over by the sewing machine. So I'm cutting out pattern piece number 3. I just did pattern piece 1 and 2. So now we're doing pattern piece number 3, which is for the ruffles. And this is going to also line up on your fold in your fabric. Or either if you follow the layout, you can cut one side first and flip it over and cut the other side. But I'm just going to make it easy for myself. And I just have the fabric folded. And I'm going to cut each piece on the fold. So here's my fold for pattern number 3, pattern piece number 3. So I thought, just cutting out the pieces, I could chit chat with you a little bit about my vacation plans. So in one of my other videos, which I will post a link to it at the bottom of this one, I talked about some things that I wanted to sew to go on vacation. And I believe this pattern was mentioned. If not, this is something extra that I'm sewing too. I normally let the fabric tell me what it wants to be. I don't like to do batch cutting. Some people do batch cutting. I don't like to do that, and the reason why is because I change my mind all the time on something. So I would decide today that this is going to be a pair of pants, and then tomorrow I said, nah, I don't want it as a pair of pants. I'm going to do something else instead. So I don't do batch cutting. I only cut things as I feel like sewing. As I mentioned in one of my other videos, sewing for me is like a form of therapy. I like the idea of lining up the fabric like what we're doing now, cutting. I usually have some music playing in the background when I'm sewing, and it's like, you know, little Zen time for me, I guess is what you would say. So I only sew when I feel like sewing. People have asked me before, oh, would you sew something for me? And I've had to politely tell them, no, I only sew for myself. And it's because I don't want no one pressuring me about, oh, when is it going to be done? Oh, can I get this done or whatever? I will make something, I think, down the road, but right now, no. Right now, I would prefer to help beginner sewers like you who just now said, you know what, I'm going to start sewing. Let me see what I should or shouldn't sew and what, you know, a little bit of help. So always, as a beginner sewer, anything to do with elastic is your friend. Elastic waist pants, elastic waist tops, those are your friends. Start off with those elastic type of patterns first, then as you get a little bit better, then move on up to how to put in a sleeve, and then how to put the cuff on, and then buttonholes. These all take with a little bit more experience, then you'll be able to do that. But anything to do with elastic, perfect for a beginner sewer. And McCall's pattern 7757, I love it. Elastic waist pants, elastic in the top. Don't have to worry about putting in any sleeves. So, as the title of my channel is So Retired, I retired about 3 years ago. This year would make my 3rd year in retirement. I took early retirement from my job because I was sick the job was making me sick. I didn't feel happy anymore. I was asking myself, why am I here? And then I decided to take early retirement and retire. One of the best decisions I made for myself so far. So, I used to sew when I was younger, as a teenager, my sister and I. My mom used to sew and she taught us how to sew. Thank you, Mom. So, Friday nights, we would sew a little outfit to go out. Saturday night, we sew a little outfit to go out, whichever. So now that I retired, I had my sewing machine collecting dust. I said, you know what, let me pull it back out again and see if I remember how to sew, so to speak. So the first couple things I did do were with elastic. I said, okay, it's kind of coming back to me now. Oh yeah, this is what, oh, that's a dart and this is for that. And it started coming back to me. And if you've seen any of the other videos that I have posted, you see a few outfits that I've made and some jeans. So I have pulled out all my sewing fabrics that I've had and been dragging around from one place to the next, to the next, to the next, saying that I'm going to sew something this year and I'm going to sew something this year. And then this year ended up being 20 years down the road. That's why this particular fabric, I've had it for so long, I don't even remember where I bought it. And I don't remember how long I've had it. I know it's been over 10 years. But it's nice and pretty, nice floral print. So I said this would make a nice top to wear on vacation. So me and my bestie are going on vacation together. Haven't seen each other in a bit, so we're going to get together and spend a little bit of time on the beach. Some sun and have some fun. So I've cut out 2 pieces here. That was 3 and 4. I have 2 more pieces to do, which is piece 5 and piece 6. So lining up piece 5 here, I have a little bit of fabric left here. All of these pieces have to be placed on the fold. And because this is a repeat pattern, it repeats over and over, I don't have to worry so much about the layout of it, because it's going to be flowers at the top, flowers at the bottom. But if you happen to was using some fabric and you had to make sure that your repeats were going to be looking cohesive when you put together, then you would line that up and make sure. So we're going to cut out piece 5 here. Nice pair of sharp scissors always. Never use your fabric scissors to cut paper or anything else, just fabric. So as I was saying about me retiring and going back to sewing, I took early retirement. I had enough time and age to retire, and that is what I did. So like most of us out here who have worked over 20 odd years and longer, over 30 odd years, you ask yourself, what are you going to do when you retire? And that's exactly what I did. When I first retired, I did not know what to do with myself. My brain was so used to me getting up at a certain time in the morning to get ready to go to work. I continued doing that for the first few months. First few months, I doubted myself. I said, oh my goodness, why did I take early retirement? Maybe I should go back to work. What am I doing around the house? So cleaned everything, rearranged everything, went through everything, got rid of stuff, donated to Goodwill what I didn't want, and threw stuff away that I've been looking at for years and said I wanted to throw and get away with. Started a garden. Gardening is always good when you're getting ready to retire. People always say that, oh, let's start a garden. So I did that. Started a garden, cutting my own grass and all kind of good stuff. So the first few months was absolutely wonderful. Slept late, did whatever I wanted to do. Then about a year in, I really hate to say this, I started feeling a little bit lost, you know? And I had to ask myself, wow, I'm so young. Why am I retiring at such a young age, you know? And I kind of felt like, what was my worth? You know, was my job my only identity? What else could I do outside of work? You know, the regular things that we do, socialize with friends and family, stuff like that. But work had been such a big part of my life. And now I'm not working. So what am I going to do? That soaked in. So I chewed on that for a while, you know, and felt a little, you know, down a bit on it, like, oh, maybe I should go back to work. Oh, I made a mistake. Oh, this, that, and the other. And that's when I said, you know what? Where's my sewing machine? I used to sew all the time and I loved it. And once I started back sewing, I've never looked back. I said I wasn't going to buy any more clothes at the store, which I have not done now, almost, this summer would make 2 years. I haven't bought anything. I had tons of work clothes, gave most of those away, but I had tons of clothes anyway, and I realized I only was always wearing the same few pieces over and over again. So I said, let me make a few pieces to add to my wardrobe, which I did. I made some jeans, some tops, nice little stuff. So here we are. This is the final piece, number 6. Line it up again. I'm going to cut it on the fold. As I was saying, didn't want to add anything more to the landfills that was out there, so I am not going to buy any more new clothes. If I need anything, I will make it myself. And I have not, like I said, this summer would make 2 years. I have not bought any new clothes at the store. Now I do go to Goodwill to look and see if I see any nice fabric at Goodwill, and not necessarily that Goodwill sells fabric, but sometimes you can find some old shirts and you can upcycle those and make into little tops or, you know, other little bits of scrap. I've done a couple of those, and I'm going to do a couple of videos on a couple of my upcycles that I've done. But I did go to a Goodwill that had they have senior citizen discounts. Hey! And on senior day, I did get a discount, and I bought a jumpsuit, a short dress, well, not short, comes below my knee, and then a long maxi dress for my upcoming vacation. And I think I paid $6 altogether. No, $8 altogether for the 3 pieces, which I like, and was recycling. It's 3 outfits that will not go to the landfill. So we'll cut Now the final piece, number 6, make sure everything's lined up. As I said before, each one of these pieces, 4, 5, and 6, are going to be cut on the fold of your fabric. So I'm looking forward to my vacation. I've made a pair of shorts and a top. I will show you that in another video for the upcoming vacation. Oops. Okay, and now I've completed and cut out all the pieces I need for the top. Lovely. So, off camera, I cut out the pants that we're going to be made to McCall's 7757. This is only 3 pieces, the front, the back, and the pockets. Absolutely love it, love it. And then you're just going to add your waistband, right? So once again, this is some fabric I had in my stash. This fabric is newer. There's a content creator that I absolutely love, Mimi G. Don't know if you heard of her, but I will put a link down in the bottom description. And she had a store called Melanated Fabrics. And unfortunately, she was shutting the store down. So I went there with my girlfriends and we picked up as much fabric as we could get. And she had this beautiful green wavy type of fabric. I can't remember the name of it. And I said, I'm going to make something of this. What I was going to make with it, I don't know. I said maybe a skirt, a dress, but I'm going to be making the pants to go with the top. And if you can see here in the fabric for the top, there's a little bit of green in here. So I took the green from that and I'm going to make the pants to go with it. So I thought this would be nice, lightweight, and nice for the spring that's coming up and for my vacation. All right, so now cut out the pants, front and the back, so you can see here. And I love pair of pants with pockets. If the pattern doesn't come with pockets, I always add pockets to it. And if you want me to do a video on how to add pockets to a project that doesn't come with pockets, I can do a video. Let me know down in the comments and the link, down in the comments, and I will do a video on how to put pockets in skirts, top, or either a pair of pants. All right, so this time now we're going to head to the sewing machine. pieces. But as you can see, we have one ruffle, the upper ruffle, the second ruffle, and then instead of the elastic being placed right here, which would have made it crop top, I have added 7 inches in length. And remember, I had said I was going to add a couple extra inches to it too, so I have enough for the hem, as well as if I change my mind, I'm going to put elastic at the bottom. So when I tried it on, I decided that I wasn't going to put elastic at the bottom. I was just going to leave it, but I did leave the extra fabric to add the elastic later on if I change my mind. So I just made a nice little hem right here. I love this little top, little elastic. I like this little detail right here. This one is for your armhole. Your armhole goes in here so that your top is not slipping off your shoulder all the time. And some of these little tops like this, you would have to be pulling it back up. I like this detail that they added in here. And then I use a contrasting pink bias tape. You can't see it, but I picked the pink out of the fabric here. So, alright, we're all set. Top is done. Now we're going to move on to the pants. Now the pants again, also beginner friendly. Only has 3 pieces. Remember with the pants, it's pattern piece 11, 12, and 13, which is the pockets, right? And the first thing you're going to do is stitch the inner thigh. Get this in the right position. Sorry. All right. So as you can see, I like to serge the edges of all my things, no matter what I'm making. If you don't have a serger, and you can just do a nice little small zigzag stitch. This will help the fabric not to fray out. So everything serges so it looks nice and clean and professional at the end. So as I was saying, the first thing you would do is stitch the 2 inner legs, front to back, back to front. Then after that, you stitch the front to the back. Stitch the front to the back from one side to the next. Then you would come back in again and do a second stitch right here for reinforcements. Right there. And then what I'm going to do next, I'm going to serge this section here. I didn't serge this yet because I wanted to wait until I stitched it and then see if how much fabric I have left. In the directions, it tells you to cut off a 1/4 inch right here. So when I serge it, I'll serge and cut a 1/4 inch all at the same time. Then after this, we're going to add the pockets and hem. Add the pockets, put on the waistband, and then hem. But in this case, I am not going to be hemming, as the fabric that I am using here, the end of it was finished already from the, the salvage end was very pretty. I thought I liked this. So I'm going to leave this. I cut it long enough for my length, and I'm going to leave this at the bottom. I think that's pretty. What do you think? So next I'm going to go serge and then add the pockets. See you back at the machine. So I've serged the inside crotch area, as you can see here. I made sure that my inseams are nice and flat. And now I'm adding on the pockets. So my fabric has no wrong or no right side. So what I normally do, if I can't mark it with a piece of chalk or maybe put a pin in it of some sort, then in this case here, I didn't want to put too many pin holes in here. So I just marked mine. This is my right back, the right side, and that's my wrong side. So that's what that little tape is for. And then I write what it is, so I don't make a mistake and pin something backwards. So this is the front pocket, one side of the front pocket right here. And now I'm going to pin the back pocket. Make sure you're matching your marks, your O's, zeros, I should say. That was on the pattern. Make sure you transfer everything over. So straighten out this pin a little bit here. It's gonna match up your edges. In this case here, I wish I had some clips, because I think I would have preferred to have used some clips on this delicate fabric, and I think I'm going to order some. I don't have any, so I'm going to order some clips. Next time I could just clip that in. So, and this is right side to right side. This is your right side, right side. You go back to the sewing machine, you're going to stitch your pocket on here for the front. Excuse me, that's the back. And then for the front, once again, whoops, lays flat. You're doing right side to right side. So you're going to do this on both sides. Over here, stitch the pockets, come in. Then after that, you're going to stitch your side seam. So for the pockets, you're going to stitch from here to here on each to attach your pockets. And then when you come back in and you do the seam, you're going to come all the way down, come around, stitch it inside the pockets and go down. All right, so we're going to do that on both sides. Hi, so finished McCall's pattern 7757, and here's the top. Here's the ruffles on it, the first layer of ruffles and the second layer of ruffles. I decided at the end not to put the elastic at the bottom. I just left it just to go down to my waist, and I have a couple of pictures posted of me with the outfit on, with the top and the pants. With the pants, I made the waistband a ½ inch wider than the instructions. I wanted it to be a little bit wider, and I used a no turn elastic in here. The pants, nice, easy sew. There's two side pockets right here. Came out lovely. As you'll see in the pictures that I took, it flows real nice flowy legs. If you notice, that is a style that I like. I like to wear flowy leg pants in all my outfits that I make. Any kind of pants that I make, always got some flowy stuff. So I haven't been sewing anything in the last 2 weeks since I completed this. So usually at the end I would show you my next project that I'm about to start. But the last 2 weeks I've been doing a lot of other things, preparing for some other projects that I got going on that doesn't have anything to do with sewing. But I did cut out McCall's pattern sorry, let me take it out of the folder. That would make more sense. Give me a moment. This is McCall's pattern 8011, and I had cut the jacket A, as you can see here, jacket A. It comes just a little crop top jacket. Yes, crop seems to be a theme that's going on with me for the summer. I have one of these in denim, which I absolutely liked. I purchased this a couple years ago. I think it was Forever 21. They were having a end of the season sale, and I purchased one. And I said, "Oh, I really do like this because I love jean jackets, and I've never made a crop. Don't have a crop one, excuse me, and never made one. So I decided to make this one in this nice white lightweight denim that I have, and I already cut all the pieces for it and everything right here. As you can see, I cut all the pieces and everything for it, and I'm trying to see if I can finish it to bring it with me on vacation. So that might be the project that I do this week, but I have a lot of other things going on, which I'm going to tell you about in an upcoming video. But if you want to sew along with me and get sewing with me, McCall's pattern 8011, and I'm going to do the half jacket on it, and that would be my next upcoming video. So one last thing about this pattern here, easy sew. This is I would recommend this for a beginner. As I said before, it has elastic in the waist, elastic in the top, something easy that any beginner sewer can do, as long as you have a and just follow the directions of the pattern. As I said before, I didn't want to wear a crop top, and so therefore I didn't. I made the pattern longer by adding 7 inches. I measured from the end of the pattern piece to my waist where I wanted it to fall. And as you can see here, I did not do the elastic, as I said before, at the bottom. I just kept it straight. So hope you enjoyed this video that I just did for my last pattern review. Once again, please like, share, and subscribe. I don't know why I always remember to say this at the end of the video, but I do have little announcements throughout the video to let you know. So once again, I'm Dawn Opal. Thank you so much for being here. If it's your first time, thank you for watching the video all the way to the end. I appreciate it. My return followers and subscribers, love you to bits. I appreciate you. Lots of new stuff coming up. I haven't been posting a lot of videos because I'm new to YouTube. I'm new to editing. So when I do the videos, it takes me a bit of time to edit and get everything sorted so I can upload it to YouTube. As you can see, my videos are far and few in between. But I'm getting some lessons. I'm going to get a lot better. And the goal for April is to post more videos like this one with me doing things I've sewn, and plus some other additional things to talk about why I am so retired. So once again, thank you for being here. I'm Dawn Opal. Bye. See you in the next video.